Hello everybody, my name is Marlo and welcome to episode 50 of TekTopia. I cannot believe we have made it this far into the series. 50 entire episodes, 50 whole, near enough consecutive weeks. When I uploaded episode 1 on the 24th of August 2019, I had no idea the impact it would have on my channel. It pretty much propelled it into what it is today, and of course it's all thanks to you guys. You are the awesome people who watch my videos every single week and continue to leave me such kind comments, helpful feedback, and just generally support me, so for that, I thank you, truly. But of course none of this would be at all possible without Tango, the creator of this wonderfully immersive mod. Every single time I go to record a TekTopia episode, I always just think how great of a mod this actually is. It allows me to do my favourite thing in Minecraft, which is to make villages, and then it just brings it to life. So Tango, thank you so much. And also, do any of you recognise where we are right now? If you do, drop me a comment down below. Fair warning to you all, this video is a long one, as you can tell, and if you don't have the time to sit through this entire thing but you would still like to see all 3 of my finished villages, then you can look at the bottom of the video. On its progress bar there are some segmented timestamps which basically marks each part of the video, and the smaller ones are actually the cinematic pieces that I've put together for all of the villages, which is basically just a montage with some cool music in the background showing off the village in its entirety. So that way you can see everything I've built in under 10 minutes as opposed to over an hour. So today we are going to be doing a world tour of all 3 of my finished TekTopia villages in chronological order. But before we start, I would just like to say this video is probably going to be in a little bit of a different style to the usual ones. We probably won't be doing a whole lot of replay mod third person shots like you're seeing at the moment, simply because this is a world tour. I kind of just want to take you around in first person and show you all of the builds we've done, but I'll try and add a couple in every now and again. But yeah, I guess we're ready to head to the first destination, which is the medieval village of Meklan's Vale. So welcome everybody to Meklan's Vale. This is the first village we ever made in this series, and of course now it's getting nighttime as I arrive, but yeah, this is the first one we ever did, and the first actual building we ever constructed. We're just going to walk past a lot of it for now, and actually head to the town hall over here. This is what we built in episode 1, not the actual tavern which we have upstairs, which we'll get to a little bit later on, but the main building itself, and of course inside holds our tradesman and our architect, as well as a village map. But yeah, this was the very first building we ever did in this series. Brings back memories coming to this place again. And yeah, you can hear the bard upstairs in the tavern playing away, which, as I said, we'll come back and visit to in a little bit, because I kind of wanted to see if I can go around to all of these buildings in the order that we actually made them in. So this town hall is what we did in episode 1, and then in episode 2, I believe we built up the storage system. Or was that episode 1 as well? I cannot remember, honestly, but it didn't look like this. It was actually a whole lot smaller. We had to expand this because we started getting more villagers, and yeah, we needed more chests, and the other one wasn't quite big enough. But as you can see, there are a butt ton of items just left laying around in here because this village is so very efficient, and I didn't get round to selling all of it, obviously. So yeah, this is the storage room and the town hall. Those are the two first buildings that we made. I'm honestly not sure what came next. I know it was a home of some kind, and I got a feeling it was this little cabin we have here. Now, there are obviously a lot of homes in this village, and I'm not going to show you all of them in every single village, otherwise it's going to be like a 2-hour long video, and I think that might just be pushing it. But yeah, we'll go in a couple of them, and they're all pretty basic. My building skills have advanced a long way since we started this series, but they're all pretty cozy, and yeah, there's a couple better than that which I'll actually show you. But I think one of the things we did shortly afterwards, I want to say in episode 4, was actually build up the blacksmith over here. So you can see we have our smithy token. It's got a little bit of an outside work area where the blacksmith can hammer away on the anvil, do their smelting on the inside, and yeah, upstairs, if we just swing around to the side here, we have a staircase leading up to another 2-person home, which is very cramped and cozy in here. The villagers actually get a little bit overcrowded from going in there, but yeah, that was something we did very early on, and I guess now we'll head into the mines. I'm not actually entirely sure when we built these. Again, I'm not really for any of it, if I'm being completely honest. It was a long time ago, but yeah, this is the mine shaft, and we had this kind of like natural face to the mountain here, so I thought it was an absolutely perfect spot for it. But as you can see, it goes all the way down until here, but this also wasn't always the case. I thought you had to go all the way down to basically bedrock at Y, like 12 or 11 or whatever diamond levels are at to actually get them. This was when I wasn't all that experienced with TekTopia, so I wasn't sure on how the druids worked. Here comes one, for example. But yeah, you can build these far higher up than all the way down at bedrock, but as you can see, this staircase winds all the way down, which is abandoned now, of course. None of the miners actually go down here anymore, but yeah, want to show you this because it's a lot of oak logs, and it still continues all the way down to the bottom here. As you can see, the miners have been busy. This building up here actually serves no purpose whatsoever to all of my villagers. It is in fact my home, so let's quickly go inside and take a look, because this honestly might be my favorite building in this entire village. I really love how this one turned out, but as you can see, I've got all of my storage, which is completely empty now because I move it on every single time we start a new village. But upstairs we have a little bit of a bedroom, and then if we just hop downstairs, down this staircase, we have a little bit of a smeltery area where I can do some smelting and anvil smacking. And then this is an AFK fish farm that I haven't used since episode 2 or something like that. I'm not even sure why I had it in the first place. I think for mending books, but I gave up on that pretty quickly. Another thing we built pretty early on was this tavern over here. Now, this is one of 2 taverns in this village. Like I said, there's one in the upper level of the town hall over there, but this was the original, and as you can see, it's got a pretty cool inside. This is, by the way, a note block texture. Mine looks like a crate because I like to use them every now and again, but this is where the bard would play. And my word, just looking at some of these builds, I really have done a whole lot better since I first started this series, haven't I, guys? But yeah, we got a bit of a bar over here and a table with plenty of chairs for the villagers to sit on. So that is one tavern all done. And then something else we built fairly shortly after, I want to say, is the library over here, the very grand library. Maybe I should fly away and actually show you some of these from a distance. They're pretty large buildings for sure, but yeah, let's actually go ahead and step inside to this library where some people are probably doing some reading. Yes, quite a few of them. The enchanter is enchanting a diamond or iron helmet of some kind, as you can see. But yeah, very, very grand and tall building, this one, where the villagers go to read to level up their intelligence stat, which is this one down the bottom right here. So yeah, that is a library, and then while we're at it, I might as well swing around the back. You guys gonna close the door behind you? Thank you. Over here we have our animal pens and butchery, who is our butcher has just slaughtered a pig who is inside of here. As you can see, we got some blood splatter, and yeah, pretty simple interior to that one. But that is the slaughterhouse, butchery, whatever you want to call it. And over here we have our animal pens. Poor cow is about to go and meet his demise. Oh, very sad. But yeah, we have these over here, a little bit of a shed and a stack of hay bales, and then we just have two, I think both of them are two-person homes. If I could actually fly up here and show you from a distance, that would be ideal. So yeah, we got two-person homes and a nice little waterfall with some sugarcane that my farmers harvest every now and again. It's not exactly the prettiest of builds, but over here I have one of my 2 tree farms. The other, if we just get on this pathway here and follow it all the way up the mountain, kind of winding around a lot. The lumberjacks don't use this all that much because the other tree farm usually supplies enough logs for them. But yeah, at the very top of this mountain, when we do eventually reach the point here, you can see we have yet another tree farm, which is pretty full. I don't actually think any of these trees have been chopped in a very long time. I haven't really shown you a good view of the bridge that we crossed over at the very start of this tour here. So there it is, over a lake, which is actually a custom built lake. It did not look like this beforehand. I think we had a forest down there and had to do a little bit of terrain modification. So yeah, we have that lake with the bridge going off into one direction to a cart over there, and my very ugly tree farm and cow farm and wheat farm over there, and another direction, which the merchant sometimes spawns and crosses on over. So yeah, that's the bridge. This, by the way, is the village banner. If I can just take a land here, you can see that is that. We have one for each of the 3 villages, and we also have a little bit more crop farm over here. The other one, which I guess I can show you real quick, which you probably have seen, it's dead center in the middle of the village. We have this big fountain, and all 4 quarters are a different crop type, which our farmers spend a lot of time harvesting. But yeah, that's the main one, but then we needed a little bit more, so we added this over here just beside the lake. We also have a solitary beetroot one with a little bit of a mushroom in the middle of this cave that we made, which I really like. I think that's a nice little cute build. But yeah, this is the farm over here. We got a waterfall hanging down, and then I suppose we can swing on over to this home because it's one of the cooler ones. This is meant to be like a little bit of a fisherman's hut. If we just step inside, it's a 4-person home where we have some of our villagers chilling out in here, gone fishing, because this is where you go to fish. And I forgot your name. Mabel the cat. She sits here whilst I chuck my fishing rod into the ocean and probably don't catch anything. Probably didn't catch anything in the sea because it's not a sea. This is a lake. I need to get my water types right. But a couple other things over here which I should show you. And by the way, this is no longer in chronological order. I have completely lost the plot with that. But just here we have our merchant stall, his little wagon. We did originally have 2 horses tied up at the front here, but one of them's over there roaming around, and I'm not sure where the other one has gotten off to. But yeah, they were attached to here with some leads, but they've obviously gotten loose. So when the merchant does come into town, he hops up here in the back of the carriage here and just waits for me to trade with him. So that's another build over here, and we also have these guard posts dotted around the village from time to time. I think there's maybe 7 of them or so, which you'll notice every now and again. But then over here we have 2 buildings. This one actually serves no function whatsoever. It's just a small little brewery. So we got some barrels of beer there waiting to be dispensed into the tavern so they can have a drink. But if we actually step inside, it's pretty cramped in here. The bottom level is literally just a staircase. But yeah, this was my attempt at the beer making process that the villagers would take. I have no idea how beer is made, especially not in medieval times, but yeah, some sort of stuff happens in here, and then the barrels are filled up and placed along the edge. This is meant to be a horizontal barrel, or vertical I think. But this building just beside it is actually yet another smithy. So yeah, we needed another blacksmith, or we didn't really need one, we just kind of wanted one. So this is a little bit of a bigger one. If we step inside here, it's kind of the same concept. We have the inner parts of the smithy with the outer work area over here. Big old forge with the upstairs actually being a home. I think this is a 2-person one. Yep, 2-person home, which again, a nice view. A nice building, and it's also got a nice view of the village. I quite like it how it looks from here. You've already seen the first smithy, but there's a couple other buildings around here which I haven't yet shown you. So over here is our marketplace with some different coloured stalls, which I quite like. And then over here is our kitchen with yet another person home above it. I've done that quite a lot in this village here, making the most use of the space that we had. But originally there was actually a crop field over here, but we ended up getting rid of it and putting it in the centre and replaced it with our kitchen, as you can see here. I actually made a little bit of a mistake with this one. This ceiling is far too low. The villagers actually always feel overcrowded in here. So sorry chefs, but that's the way it is. And then upstairs round the back is just yet another home. I know I said I wasn't going to show you all of these, but it can't hurt just stepping inside and giving you a little bit of a glimpse. Going through the marketplace again, we have another, I think that's a 2-person home up there. That was one of the first buildings we did. And then over here is our other tavern above the town hall, which I mentioned about earlier. So yeah, this is another one that the villagers can go to if they're feeling like they want a little bit of a happiness boost. Got some more village banners on display. But if we just exit on out, you can see we are now at the school, which I think we built in episode 7, if I'm remembering that correctly. So in here is where our teacher does all of the teaching of the children, which we currently have none at the moment. So yeah, at the front she's got her blackboard to write on, some reading material, and yeah, a few other stuff. I'm always just amazed at how much my building has come along since this. I know I keep saying it, but I haven't been in these houses in a long time, and yeah, I've greatly improved, which is a good thing. And oh yeah, we need to actually go out the back here to the playground. So we got a bit of a climbing frame, a sand pit, a roundabout, I think that's what it's called, right? A seesaw, and then some swings. And I think, oh wait, hang on a second, we forgot the watchtower. I think the best way to view this might actually be to fly around. So let's do a swoop, and then yeah, you can see this is a pretty tall watchtower. I can't remember the purpose of this. I think it has, yes, another kitchen on the bottom level here. So this is yet another place where some chefs can go and do some cooking. Then up here, I think this is all just cosmetic. I believe this tower actually played a pretty big part in my 500 subscriber special, just to give a reference to my subscriber number at the time. Yeah, we built this around the time when I only had 500, and now look at the number. But yeah, up here was actually where I slayed the evil king, or sorry, Meklan slayed the evil king of Meklan's Vale here, when we did a little bit of storytelling, which I guess I can explain why it's called Meklan's Vale. Some of you may not actually be aware, but the first villager we ever got in this series, the first villager in Meklan's Vale, was, believe it or not, Meklan. Meklan da Lacalia, and yeah, that is what it's named after, a vale, because, well, we're basically in a bit of a valley here, as you can see. So yeah, that is why it has the name that it does, and I think for the most part here, that is actually the majority of the buildings covered on kind of like this half of the village. I think I've shown you everything. I may miss a couple of things in this video, and I apologize for that, but yeah, can't really get to them all. I'm bound to miss it at some point. I guess super quick, we can just hop in this home and show you very quickly. And then the main thing about this home is we actually have a little bit of a pupper downstairs, and his name, I thought it was Harry Potter, because he's under some sort of staircase. So over on this half of the valley is more so homes than anything else. We have quite a few in here. This home actually will start off with actually houses 18 villagers. We have three 6-person homes all stacked on top of one another. So yeah, in total that is enough to get up to 18 villagers. So the top and the second level, or sorry, the first and the second level, getting my words very messed up today, are basically identical, but the top level here is a little bit cooler than the rest, so I suppose I can show you that. It's got a little bit of a balcony that the villagers never go and stand out on, because there's no reason why they would actually open that door and go outside. But same over here. I guess let's actually take the shortcut by flying directly downwards, trying not to die here. But these two homes I actually really like. They're quite cute and cozy, I think. So there is just a little simple 2-person home. They are my favorite to do. I loved constructing these when we were making this village, but similar deal over here. A lot of them have some fire pits, which of course I'm playing with fire tick off. That's why everything isn't burning down right now. And then I guess if we just actually swing around the back here, you can see we have a jail, which was just a very small build that I had a suggestion from one of my subscribers. I honestly cannot remember who. I'm sorry, it was a long time ago. But we have a jail because it is right next to the barracks over here, which I'm going to show you real quick. So this we built in episode 5. I can always remember the earlier episodes, but when it gets past like 10, I do not remember. But yeah, we built this in episode 5. Out the front here we have a shooting range. Let's just do a little bit of target practice here. That's definitely dead center. It's most certainly not. But over here we have some hay bales, and it's meant to be like training dummies. Right, but obviously the guards can't actually use this because it's not inside the barracks itself. In here is where they all are. You can see quite a lot of them are sleeping right now. Vincent Rowland is just taking a seat. But yeah, this is where they all sleep. This is their sleeping arrangements. Got some chairs and tables for them to sit at. And then over here is where they do some practicing of, well, basically when guards have nothing to do. Are you going to be a good... Nope, you're not going to be a good guard. You're going to not give an example. Oh, maybe you are. Nope, you're going to sit down. But pretty much when they don't have anything to do, they will actually just come here and practice on the armor stands and level up their skills a little bit. So yeah, that right there is the barracks. The last couple of buildings over here are mostly homes, and we've gone in enough of them so far today, so I'm not going to show you once again. But the big one over here, similar concept to what we have with the 18-person home, and this is a 2-person home with another one stacked on top. I actually really quite like the look of that building from the outside, as well as the inside, but it's pretty similar to the rest, but not really a good view, is it? There's too many buildings around. But yeah, this is our other homes, and then we have one more at the very top here with, oh yeah, this is why I like it, because it's got a bridge leading to the second level. Just pretty cool, I think. But over here we have a little bit of custom terraforming. We had this kind of overhang, so we added in a waterfall, which is like a triple cascading waterfall, leads into I think 3 separate ponds, and added in some stalactites from the ceiling. And yeah, so that's a nice little touch over there. Not sure how much it makes sense or anything like that, but it looks cool, and that's the main thing. And then I think the final thing to actually show you guys, at least for the most part, I'll have to do a double check, is, hello guard, is the stables over here, where we have... I think this right here is Ace, yes, and this is Tom Tom. So this is where I keep my horses, just in this stable at the very top of this little hill on this section of the village. I do believe that I have shown you near enough every building inside of Meklan's Vale here. So yeah, that is one village all done. And before we head over to Esteria, I would just like to say, you may have noticed my food has not gone down at all since we started this video, and that is simply because for once I have actually just turned it to peaceful, so we don't have any necromancers spawning and making this world tour a bit more difficult to record than it needs to be. So yeah, usually it's on hard, but for this one off, hopefully you guys don't mind it being on peaceful. But yeah, I guess that is Meklan's Vale all done. We can now head over to the desert village of Esteria. I always refer to this place as a desert village, but it's certainly more of a city. Esteria is absolutely massive. There is a lot to cover over here, so I'm assuming this is going to be the longest segment in the video, so bear with me whilst we try and get round to most of these buildings. We're certainly not going to go in all of the homes, otherwise we will be here for absolutely ages, but if we just take a look in the sky here, you can see the village, or city, sorry, is kind of split into 4 separate sections or quarters with some pathways in the middle, so we can go about this in somewhat of an organized manner. There is an escaped pig, as you can see, but to start off with, let's actually head all the way back over to the main entrance here. And I guess, well, you can probably see it. I don't really need to point it out, but we obviously have a massive wall going all the way around the outside, which was the second thing we did right after constructing that tower, but we'll get to that in just a second. To begin with here, let's take a land at the front entrance here where we have some llamas and a couple of statues similar to the one we had over in Meklan's Vale, but made out of sand this time. And yeah, we go through the big grand gate, and here is a map of the village, which looks really cool. As you can tell, it's actually pretty centralized in these 4 maps here, which is nice. But as soon as we walk on through, we are immediately greeted with the marketplace, which I much prefer to Meklan's Vale. As I said, my building style has got, or just my building skill, I should say, has got a whole lot better as this series has gone on. And yeah, this is a cool looking marketplace. But yeah, there's that as you first walk in, and then we approach the Pyramid Town Hall, which if we just get a bit of a better view here, you can see is, well, shaped like a pyramid. So that's a pretty cool looking town hall if you ask me. And something else I should also point out, there is the village banner for Esteria. A little bit similar to Meklan's Vale, but I think it suits it with the colours. So in here we of course have our architect and tradesman, as well as Kepri and a tomb. They are goddesses of something, I can't remember, it's been a while. A little bit of lore we added in there, but yeah, we continue walking on through down this pathway to the very centralized point of Esteria, which is actually our storage tower here. So I really love this building. It's possibly one of my favorite things I've created in this entire series. The block palette here is mainly sand, a little bit of acacia every now and again, some of the orange acacia wood, and we use lots of blue terracotta throughout. But yeah, this is like the first thing we did in episode 15, I want to say. And yeah, this is where the villagers all go to store all of the items, which as you can, oh well, I picked a poor chest to open up, but yeah, we got lots and lots of stuff in here because we actually have 100 villagers in total. So yeah, there is quite a lot going on, but before we start going to all the 4 sections, let's actually head to the end of all of these pathways. So over on that one, we of course have the entrance and the town hall. Over on the left hand side here, facing which way are we facing? East, we have the crop fields, which are significantly bigger than Meklan's Vale, with a little bit of sugarcane. And then if we fly over to the west hand side, we have our tree farm. Now these are not the only trees in the village, I'll show you where the majority of them are, but yeah, this is where the lumberjacks go to get trees. And facing the south side over here, we have where our animals are. So only small pens. There's probably could do with being a little bit bigger, I suppose, but the ranchers are put to work enough times over here. So yeah, this is where the animal pens are. And now we can go around to all of these buildings 1 quarter at a time. To begin with here, we're actually going to start on the southeast side of the village here, because this has a lot of the houses in. So considering I'm not showing you, we should actually be able to get around here reasonably quickly. But we're going to start off with the Under and Out Bar and Inn, a personal favorite building of mine in Esteria. Esteria, sorry, let's pronounce it correctly. But this is, whoa, everybody's going in the tavern. It's a multi-purpose tavern, if I can just sneak through here. On this level, we have the actual tavern itself. Come on, guys, settle down, take a seat. But upstairs, we have the kitchen, where the chefs can do some cooking up here. And then the under and out part of it is actually the inn, which is downstairs past this fence gate here, where we just have, oh, big lag spike, sorry about that, where we just have some identical rooms. Well, they're not completely identical, they change around a little bit, but yeah, we have some rooms down here. One of my favorite things about Esteria is the close quarters feel when you're actually walking through all of these houses, and all of the buildings actually, they kind of have this feel to it, which, yeah, I absolutely love walking around this place. But Majority of these are actually homes, so we can skip them. I apologize for the very loud noises. The bard is playing, the hearts are twinkling. It's all very noisy. Maybe I'll turn the volume down in a second, but around the village you'll notice a couple of these. We actually have some ancient ruins that are different to one another. So this is actually meant to be like a full-size statue that has been buried beneath the sand. So this is the head, of course, and then his sword is poking out of the sand there. Over here we have some sort of barrel or something to store the beer that goes to the tavern in there. Just a small little build that we did one time. Apparently a crate to go next to it. I'm not entirely sure why this is actually here, but it is. And then over here is actually the barracks, where a guard is walking on the roof. Okay, fair enough, buddy. So once again, we have some more shooting ranges over here with some more armor stands. Training dummies, that's what they're called. But yeah, this is the barracks, so we can step inside. A little bit of a weirdly shaped building because all of this is actually like connected. It all counts as one building. So over here we have our actual training dummies that they can use, and then round this corridor through here is the sleeping arrangements, and then we do actually have a tower to go all the way up, or sorry, a staircase going all the way up to the tower, which yeah, has a nice view of the village that you can look over. But I think next we'll actually go over to what that is over there, which is in fact, if I can make my way out of here, the mines. And it's not just the mines, we actually have some aesthetic buildings here. We have a big old quarry, this giant crane, which if I can just hop on this fence here, you can see is carrying a bunch of ores down the bottom there. So yeah, we got this big quarry, and for some reason we have a trebuchet here. Maybe not lined up the best to take out the enemies, but yeah, we had a big open spot here and I wanted to put that in place. So yeah, this is actually the entrance that the miners take to get down to the mines. Hello, Druid. So if we just join them here and go all the way down the staircase, you can see more stone is creeping in the lower down we go. But yeah, we eventually reached the mines, and I love how these look. We again have the quarry that you saw from the top there. These are the ores being carried on up, and then yeah, plenty of mine shafts for the miners to go digging in. Just on top of the crane at the moment, trying to scan to see where some other buildings are that are not homes, but I think the majority of these are actually in fact homes. You can see this one here with the fire is actually a guard post. We have one of them in each of the quadrants. You can actually see the flame over there, which looks pretty cool. I'm not sure if you can quite catch the other ones, but yeah, those are our guard post designs, which the token, by the way, in case you're wondering, is actually at the top. There's a staircase leading up, so the guard actually stands at the top of the guard post, which is really cool. But I think the last building over here, which I have to show you, oh, I forgot about this one. This is some sort of brewery, I think. I cannot really remember. A very simple and small building, mainly there to fill a gap. But this right here is the first blacksmith, can't speak, in this village that we built. So it's kind of meant to be a little bit like the vanilla blacksmiths, kind of keeping with that same shape, but redesigned a little bit and obviously made to look like a desert version of it. So yeah, in here, lots of furnaces and an anvil. And yeah, cauldron and forge outside. But let's quickly just have a little bit of a fly and see if I can see anything else around. This right here is actually one of our butcher buildings, you can see, where there is a cow loose. I will not kill you, buddy. You managed to escape the swinging axe, so I guess you deserve to live. But yeah, that is replicated the same over on the other side. Did he just get killed? Oh man. Poor cow. But yeah, I think I'm going to have another look around quickly just to make sure. But I think that is all of the buildings that are not homes in this quadrant over here. And I'll quickly just show you one home for an example, because they basically look all the same for the most part. So yeah, there you go. I do believe that was everything on the southeast side of our city here, so let's head over to the southwest and take a look around. Once again, there are quite a few houses, and we're actually going to start off going over to the other side because there's a cool bridge that we can cross over. As you can see, and the villagers don't use it apparently. Nope, you're collecting sugarcane. They do use it, I promise, but we'll cross that in a second. Right now, I just want to show you the meeting hall, as you can see. So this is where the village elders are supposedly meant to go and have important discussions about the village. But yep, there's the bridge in use. And this right here It's a pretty unusual looking library. I'm fairly certain that's the title of the video where we built this, but it's got a bit of a weird shape to it, but I kind of also really like it at the same time. It reminds me a little bit of some sort of scientific building, maybe an observatory of sorts, which doesn't particularly make sense, but round this side here we have this chicken who is holding up the library. It would fall if he just came out, but yeah, this guy has been here for basically since we built the thing, and he does not want to move, so yeah, that's fun. But yeah, in here is our library, very packed as usual. We have 2 enchanters enchanting something at the same time. I didn't even know you could do that, guys. But yeah, this is the unusual library, and then if we head on out, we can see one of the enchanters' tent over here. So this is just making use of some of the very bright, this is blue, isn't it? Or is it purple? This is blue wool, and yeah, as you can, oh, they're very sad. What are you guys sad about? But yeah, in here is where one of the enchanters is supposedly meant to sleep, alongside Yago the bird, who, yeah, is up on his perch there, having a good time. And if I can just get out here, and we'll head into, this is a home, this is not a home, this is actually a school, the one and only school in the village. There's no real point in having more than one of them, so yeah, I only ever build one for each place. But yep, this is the school. It's got a bit of a group feel to it, so all the students sit round here for the most part, and every now and again they sit out on the outside table just under the awning here to have a little bit of a lunch break. But I guess let's continue on. So you've seen this over on the other side. This is the butcher's building. Just picked up a lead. I don't want that, thank you very much. But I think around here somewhere, yes, here it is, the wizard tower, which looks really cool. It's quite a big spire against every other building around here, which looks pretty sweet. But if we go inside, you can see it is actually furnished like every single building in this place, and it's not left you know, untouched. It actually is got an interior on all of them. But yeah, just a bit of a wizard tower here, which obviously isn't used from any of our villagers, unfortunately. There's quite a few cosmetic buildings in this village, as opposed to the other two where there's not quite as many. So yeah, I think that's a nice little thing as well. And I guess real quick, we can hop in the other tavern here, where you are stuck, dear friend. I think carpets often mess with their pathfinding a little bit, so note to any of you who are playing TekTopia, don't use carpets as often as I have done here, because yeah, quite often they get stuck on it. Continuing on, however, we come to a greenhouse here, which isn't quite as simple as it may seem. You notice a lumberjack just came out of the greenhouse. Why could he go in there, I wonder? Well, let's go inside, and you can see we have just a tiny bit of a crop field here on either side, which do actually get some use. But the main thing that this has a purpose for is actually a staircase leading to the giant underground tree farm. And I mean giant. This thing is big and empty. Oh my goodness, there's no trees here. I may have too many lumberjacks. Well, I guess that's a good thing, actually. You can see the room fully for what it looks like. I've had a bit of the acacia log chopped down there because some leaves have obviously attached. I'll have to remember to fix that. But yeah, this is the underground tree farm. I didn't have, I had too many lumberjacks basically, and I needed more logs, so I had to set this up underground because yeah, that over there wasn't enough. And apparently underground isn't either, because both of them are empty. But oh well, it's all good. Over here is a carrot field, which is also a little rabbit hutch. If I just put hitboxes on, you can see there's actually some rabbits that eat the carrots every now and again. Just a fun little feature. And yeah, I can't get too close to it because they're actually scared of me. But I think the final building actually to show you guys over here is another barracks. We actually have 20 guards in this entire place. A loose chicken, oh no. But yeah, 20 guards in total in Esteria, and this is where the other 10 will sleep. As you can see, this is what the inside looks like. Very open concept, to the point where there's not even any doors, I don't think, except from that one over there. But it's meant to be a little bit like a sandcastle, right? It kind of going for that sort of build, so I really like that one. We have a playground here right next to the barracks. A little bit of a strange location for it, but there we go. Roundabout, seesaw and swings again, and then a picnic garden for the adults to sit in. Is there something? Yeah, a guard just walking on top of the tent. Okay. So yeah, the kids go play over there and then the adults can come and sit here in the nice peaceful garden, which I think looks quite nice. But yeah, I believe that is everything in this quarter over here. Everything I haven't shown you that you can see if we just take a fly on up is actually a house. So yeah, that's that quadrant all done. Only 2 to go. I also have a lot of iron golems alongside the 20 guards in this village, and most of them I think are in some body of water. They can't swim, so as soon as they fall in, they are stuck forever, which we'll see some of them over here in the northwest section. So there's a lot more things to look at over here, but to begin with, we're first of all going to go into the herbalist shop, which I really like to come in here. It's just completely overgrown, and once again, another cosmetic building. There is no herbalist in TekTopia, so this is just meant to be for imagination. As you can see, it's like all the buildings, actually very overgrown on the outside. We have a lot of leaves kind of just dotted around, which fully transformed the village actually when we did this in an episode. We didn't have any of the trees or the pathways in or any of this stuff, and as soon as we did it, it really brought it all together. But yeah, that is the herbalist shop. We also have a couple of these carts being like dotted around every now and again just to give a little bit of immersion. This I will actually show you. It's the first big home I think we built in the village here. It's a 6-person home on the bottom, and then we have a staircase on the side which leads to a 4-person home, which I will actually collect that heart, thank you very much. But we have a little bit of a table out here where they can sit and get a nice view of the village. But anyway, won't show you any more homes. Over here is yet another ancient ruin. It's meant to be similar idea with the statue that was buried over there. This is meant to be like the temples you can find in vanilla, except more in my style with the blue terracotta here. Buried beneath the sand, as you can see. So yeah, we got some of them, and these kind of been like chipped away, you know, looking a little bit old and tattered. Another crate once, or not crate, sorry, cart once again. This I will actually hop down and show you real quick because it actually serves somewhat of a function for me. This is where I have my creeper farm. You may be able to hear, wait, no you won't because I'm on peaceful, but yeah, this is where I get some of my gunpowder. So yeah, thought I'd show you that. And then when we get out, we can just go on this ladder and fly, and then all the way to the top and shoot on out the other side super duper fast, and then land very uncomfortably. Continuing on, this is a little bit of an outside table area. None of the villagers actually sit here because it's not part of a building, but once again, another cosmetic build. Over here we have one of the 2 kitchens, I think, in this village. Meant to be a bit like a restaurant type of deal, even though I didn't really like calling it a restaurant because I felt like it didn't make a whole lot of sense for the time period I was trying to build Esteria in, which in itself is a little bit of a confusing topic anyway. It's got very quite a lot of different elements to it. It's a little bit like Arabian / Egyptian / various other styles here. It was a bit of a combination of a bunch of different ones, but I actually quite like that about this place. Continuing on here, this is quite a long clip, but we'll keep rolling with it. This is our church where the villagers of Esteria are meant to get married. Got some big glass windows on the top there, and I quite like the look of that, and a dining table out here to have some sort of meal once the couple has been married. But yeah, there's the church, and I guess some of you may have been waiting for me to return to this monstrosity. This is the Chonky Sphinx. I really wanted to build a Sphinx in this desert village, and I gave it my best shot, but he looks a little bit weird. Honestly, looks kind of cool from this angle. I really quite like it. So you cross over this bridge and step inside, and your name, I can't remember your name, Tefnut, I think the Egyptian god of moisture or rain or something like that. And the theory is, you know, you give him gifts and then he causes it to rain because obviously they need lots of hydration in a desert. It's going to get pretty dry around here. So yeah, that's what goes on inside the Sphinx. But as you can see, if we just take a fly away, if I can actually lift off here, please. Come on, any second now. Why is it so difficult to fly in 1.12? Please, come on, let me fly. Surely now. Why? I just lost the ability apparently. Oh, my wings are broken. That would be why. I guess now would be a good time to show you my gold farm, completely unrelated to the villages, but it's part of the world, so I may as well show you. But to access the gold farm, I need to fly, so this pigman actually has to die. Probably gonna regret doing this, but I need just a tiny bit of XP here to repair my elytra, so I'm actually able to reach the top. That should be enough. Can I make it all the way up? One more rocket should do it. Bang my head on the... Ouch. There we go. And I have made it to the top here. So actually going to have to turn it from peaceful back to hard. And yeah, basically you guys know how these type of farms work. You shoot one pigman and they all come and try and kill you. The farm works well. I've recovered my stuff and my elytra is fully repaired again, so I can now show you... Oh, I can't even show you from this angle, we need to go around this side, but yeah, that is one slightly chubby sphinx. So yeah, a lot of you guys really like this build, ironically or not, but yeah, it's definitely a part of Esteria, whether you like it or not. But yeah, there's the Sphinx. I suppose next up we can head down into this big mysterious hole, which is actually the catacombs and the Egyptian king's sarcophagus. I cannot remember what we called him. I want to say Takuran or something like that, but this is in lore where he is buried in this big sarcophagus in his great big tomb. So that is what this looks like on this side, but if we head over to the other side, this is where supposedly the dead villagers no need to get all morbid, but yeah, this is where the villagers that have died, not that any have in Esteria, but this is where they would be buried in their own tombs in their own little section just across from Takuran over there. But yeah, we can fly back on out and continue on with looking around. I'm a little bit lost now that I had to go to the gold farm, but I don't think we've seen this over here. So this is actually some homes that are not fully furnished because they're not proper homes. This is probably the least amount of interior I've done on any of these buildings, but they're meant to be lumberjack huts, so they're right beside the tree farm over here, and yeah, it's just 4 identical buildings, all surrounding a campfire where supposedly 4 lumberjacks are meant to stay. So that's a cool little build, almost like a little village within a village. And then coming around to this build right here, it's a pretty cool one. This is actually the village treasury, where all of the goods and gems and gold is stored in Esteria. So we got a cart carrying some of the blocks here ready to be placed on top of this pile, which yeah, is the treasury. So there's that building all done. As you can see, here are some of the iron golems drowning away, having a good time in the pool, are you, buddy? I think there used to be 2 in here. I'm not sure if one of them got out or just maybe disappeared somewhere. I'm not sure, but this building right here is technically a 2-person home, but it's actually got a bit more to it than that, so we'll head inside. But this is meant to be the cleric's home. Admittedly, clerics no longer live here anymore because TekTopia villagers like to bed swap every now and again for some reason. But yeah, this is meant to be like the equivalent of a doctor's surgery in Esteria. So we've got some sort of like basically herbs and other sorts of natural remedies to cure any sort of illness that they would have. A nice warm bath if that's what they needed. Towel, and yeah, this is actually where the clerics sleep. And if we go up to the top floor, I think there's something up here. It may just be, it's literally just a viewpoint, but yeah, that is the clerics building. And I'm trying to have a quick look over what you guys haven't seen. Ouch, let's go directly into the wall, shall we? So you've seen the ruins, we've seen all of this. Oh wait, you haven't seen this. I still want to change up this roof. I don't know why I ever did this in the first place, because I honestly don't really like it, but it's been like this for a while now, so I never really bothered changing it. But this is the bathhouse where all of the villagers would go and wash. So yeah, this is where they go. I still don't really want to jump in the water because it's disgusting. It's the bathhouse. All the dirty villagers have been coming in here, but yeah, we will anyway. We'll brave it. We got some fire underneath making all of these smoke particles. Even got a little bit of a changing room back here with a toilet, I think. Yep, that's nice at the bottom of there. And yeah, a couple towels on display. So if I can figure out how to actually get out of the bathhouse, I'll show you what I think might be the final building in this section over here. Could miss some, as I said, it's possible. Wait, no, you guys have seen that kitchen, haven't you? Oh, it's this area over here, the sandstone cutting area. So I wanted to create some sort of build that would be a reason as to how they get all of these sandstone bricks to actually build up these houses and whatnot. So basically this is the cart with the finished product on. This is what's taken off to several different building locations, and then they can begin construction. But to begin with, it starts off over on this cart where some sand is brought in and kind of dumped in a big pile over here, and then whoever the sandstone cutter is does some squishing into sandstone. I don't know how it's actually made in the real world, but yeah, this is my very basic Minecraft rendition. So it's squished into sandstone and then carved on his table here. So each block is handcrafted by one single guy. So this, everybody, is the final side, northeast if I do believe so. East, north, yes, correct. So to begin with, let's take a look at a little well. It's pretty deep, actually goes down quite a long way as you can see, and now I have to wait ages to actually get back up to the surface. But this over here, can I even get out of? Yeah, there we go. Is where my home is. This is it. This tiny little thing right here. Super cute. I absolutely love it. But no, it's not. I actually live underground down here where I keep all of my items, which again, don't really exist anymore except from stuff that I have so much of I don't really need to take with me, as you can see. But yeah, we can press this button and we get sprung back up to the top here where we can take a look at the merchant stall, which is yet another wagon being dragged by some llamas. Have you come undone? I think you're still hooked, it's just invisible. So yeah, this is where the merchant goes for me to trade with him. And yeah, it's quite cute little cart design, I think. But let's carry on over this way and keep with the llama theme. I wanted to have quite a few of these in our village here. So we've got a couple others that you guys will probably see in this quarter actually over here. So this is Spit. This is Lingo, and then over there, I think your name is Lizzie. So Spit, Lingo, and Lizzie, this is their little pen that they have for some reason or another. I don't really know if we ever came up with some sort of reasoning behind why the llamas are actually here. I guess just to breed them, because they probably come in handy for a place like this. They wouldn't really have horses, I don't think, or at least that's what I'm going with. And instead would use llamas more often than not. But let's walk through here. Again, you can see very close quarters, and we again end up at yet another smithy, which this one is around about the same size. 2 anvils, so we got 2 blacksmiths in here. And yeah, forge on the outside and also forge on the inside. It's a double-sided forge, would you believe it? And then over here, I think this is the other bakery. I can see some furnaces smelting, so it must obviously be in use. Or kitchen, sorry, not bakery. But yeah, it's meant to be a little bit like the bakery, aka why we have those cakes there. But if we head outside, I believe that is another guard post. As you can see, this is an ancient ruin, maybe. Once again, I think the gist of the ancient ruins was that, you know, there was maybe some sort of city before Esteria that was much lower down, and over the course of time, sand has kind of covered it up. So this, I think, was meant to be at the top of a mountain or something like that, hence why it's at the same level as the top of the statue and the top of the pyramid. So yeah, we have some sort of important structure over here that is being somewhat kept at a good standard. Obviously, it's crumbled over time, but yeah, maybe like I don't know. There's a word for this, and it's slipping my mind right now, and I can't think of it. You guys will have to let me know. But this building right here is the fabric shop, because I had a comment, again, I'm not sure who from, I'm very sorry, but one of my wonderful viewers who suggested to build some sort of fabric shop because a place like this would use a lot of fabrics in their homes. So I've basically just got lots of flags and carpet up on display here. It's a very colourful, bright and vibrant shop, and yeah, I really actually quite like this building, especially from the inside. A shrine, maybe? I'm not even sure at this point, but over here in this corner, we had this kind of big open gap, and I thought, hey, let's just add in a bunch of very tall cacti. So that's what we've done. It's sort of a little bit of an homage to Good Times with Scar World. That's difficult to say. He had these really tall cacti in his part of the world, and yeah, I thought it looked super cool, so that's what I've done over there. But I guess now let's head in this magnificent building, which is actually, if I can avoid those cobwebs, that was close, the Grand Library, and I'm fairly certain it's the second tallest building in this village, just shy of our storage tower in the center there. But yeah, let's head inside and take a look, because it's got a really cool ceiling, to be honest. As you can see, that is quite trippy to look at, to be honest, but yeah, nothing more in here than just some bookshelves for reading and an enchanting table for enchanting. So we can exit on out and I guess take a look at this silo, which is filled up with hay bales. It's totally not just one hay bale there and the rest is completely empty. Of course not, I would never do that, but yeah, we got that just beside our crop field over here. Meant to have a little bit of a ladder so you can climb up and deposit some inside. As you can see, completely full to the... Wait, is it actually full to the brim? Hang on a sec. No. No, it's not. I was very surprised with myself then for a second. But yeah, let's think. Where haven't we been so far? We've been in the smithy. Let's keep on going around. This is another home, but once again, an important one because this... Oh, sorry, you wanted to come in. My bad. This is where we have Larry the llama, who likes to sit on this table. For the longest time, he would like poke his head through this trapdoor, or this one, I think, actually, until he got stuck on this table in the middle, and he has been here ever since. But it's got a pretty cool upper level here where we're growing some hay bales for Larry and some lichen for Larry. I think that's what it's called. And a little bit of a deck chair, I guess, with a nice tree blocking the view up there. But yeah, I got a feeling, actually, guys, that might be all of the buildings that are not homes. I'm just going to go around and double check everything and make sure I haven't missed. But I think for the most part, we've got everything covered here. Yep, I'm fairly certain that was every building I wanted to show you. Again, I may have missed one here and there, but there's so many in Esteria especially, so it's probably pretty likely. And yeah, didn't show you the homes, of course, because as I said, I'm trying to keep this episode at a reasonable length. Sorry, it's pretty long already, I know, but hopefully some of you are enjoying that. A lot of you had been asking me to do longer episodes for this special, so yeah. You're welcome. But one last thing I do want to show you before we say goodbye to Esteria is actually inside of these walls here and up on the towers, because you can actually get to the very top of these and also walk along the bridge, which is really cool. And yeah, have a good vantage point from up here out on the desert or on Esteria, depending on which way you want to look from. And you can actually go all the way around the entire village wall. I made a point to create a tunnel going from one kind of tower to the rest, so you can go all the way around until you reach one of the corners and up the ladder, and yeah, have a cool vantage point from the top of here. So there's one tiny detail I added in. I don't honestly think I've ever used it off camera, but it's cool nonetheless. So yes, that right there is Esteria. I think around about half of the episodes in this series have been taken up by this place. As you can imagine, it's pretty large, but now it's time to say goodbye to this one and head over to our dwarven-inspired ravine village, the Undergrowth. So welcome everybody to the Undergrowth, our most recent village here in TekTopia, also known as Denachgundu, which is its dwarven counterpart. Sort of. It translates to the Green Delvings, I believe so. But yeah, a lot of you probably recognize this place, but we'll still take a close look around just in case there's some new people watching, or maybe those of you who haven't watched this series in a while and you're looking to have a look at the Undergrowth here without having to go back and watch all 15 or 13 or however many episodes we spent over here. So the first thing we should probably talk about is up here, the landscape. Before we did all of this, actually in episode 49, we had just birch forest everywhere, but I wanted to make somewhat of a wasteland biome. I wanted it to look like something had happened that forced all of our villagers underground here. So I said to you guys come up with the lore, but I haven't seen those comments just yet because I pre-record. But basically my idea was something caused an explosion here, revealing the ravine from beneath the surface, and then set alight to everything else surrounding it, which is why it's kind of burnt away. The grass has become path blocks, kind of looks like dead grass if you ask me. We got some rock protrusions and just rock flats over there, dead bushes, and yeah, the edging of the trees here have actually just singed a little bit. They've only got a few leaves left remaining. So yeah, this was a pretty big landscaping job out here on the surface, but it certainly looks cool and just emphasizes this awesome ravine. But before we head inside, I think quickly we'll just talk about what this is over here. So in this entire series, I have only ever lost one villager, and his name, as you can see behind me there, is Konrad Dalakalia. He was a guard in this village and he lost his life fighting too many zombies, to be quite honest with you, and this is the only area on the upper levels here which isn't completely desolate like the rest of this. And that is because somehow whatever happened here, the waterfall that is positioned over there managed to survive, and it's, flowing nutrients to all of this grass, allowing growth to take place once again, which is why we can have all of these flowers here. And I think it's just a quite a nice little hidden away spot for Konrad Dalakalia to rest. So yeah, that is the upper level all done. We can now head inside the ravine, but not before I go to bed. So here is the ravine, and something I should probably mention before we actually take a closer look around is this is pretty much a custom ravine. It's basically double the size of what it was before. In the very first episode, I think it was, when we started this village, I had to really expand the walls and make all of these pathways. I'm not at a very good vantage point. A second, let me just crash into here. But yeah, I added in all of these pathways, just kind of expanded it sideways so there was enough room to actually build some stuff in here. So yeah, that alone was a pretty big project in itself, to actually near enough make the ravine. We have this chicken up here, by the way, and I'm not sure if I should push him off or not, or just leave him up there forever. I don't know if he enjoys it. He's got an egg with him, keeping him company, but yeah, so the main structure of this ravine is basically 3 different levels of walkways here. You can see we have those pathways with bridges connecting them up from one side to the other, and then we also have the main section at the bottom here, just on the ground level, which we're actually going to start out at. So this is where my farming takes place. We have wheat, carrot, potatoes and beetroot, or potatoes and beetroot I should say, with a very deadly waterfall hydrating all of the crops down here. I've nearly lost a couple of villagers from drowning in here, and it nearly happens quite a lot, so I have to keep my eye out to make sure they don't start suffocating again. But it looks cool, which I prefer. I don't mind risking my villager's life as long as it looks cool while it happens. But yeah, this is where my farmland is, and then I guess the first thing we should do is actually maybe head into the town hall. So a lot of these buildings are just shoved into the wall. This is meant to be an underground village. There isn't much exterior work really. So all of them sort of either have some sort of cave or an entrance like that leading to them. So this is the town hall here. As you can see, very grand. That right there is the village banner, which I think is pretty simple but also looks quite nice. So yeah, that's the town hall, and then if we cross over to the other side, we have our storage room, which is meant to be, again, very Dwarven inspired. A lot of this is, for the most part, it basically is a Dwarven village. But this right here is a little bit inspired by The Hobbit. And the name, oh, the Arkenstone, there we go. That was slipping my mind again. But yeah, that's meant to be the equivalent of the Arkenstone for our village here. Very, you know, highly looked up to gem, very sacred to all of the dwarves in this village here. But yeah, this is the storage room where all of the storage is, and because this isn't a very old village, we don't really have that many items here, honestly. Something I was actually meant to do last episode but completely forgot is tell you guys how much I had used my pickaxe during the creation of the undergrowth here. Because we mined out so much stone, I thought it'd be cool to see, yeah, how many blocks difference it was before and afterwards. So before we started work on the village, my diamond pickaxe had 138,000 uses, and if we just go into statistics here, into items, into times used, you can see we are up to 263,000, which is crazy. That is, well, over 100,000. 100,000? Wait, yeah, no, that's right. 100,000 uses. That seemed much higher, but yeah, so that's how many blocks we actually mined. Near enough. Obviously, I use my pickaxe for other things, but still, it's a roundabout figure. So I guess while the merchant's coming into town, I can show you the merchant stall over here. So this is where the merchant hangs out. We only built this a couple of episodes ago, to be honest. There's Captain Soraya van Heiden with her spiky horns. I'm really losing the ability to talk today, guys. I've been speaking for so long now. But yeah, this is the merchant stall, and he's got a bit of an elevator that is, in theory, meant to go up to the surface, but there's other things above, so I couldn't actually do that. But yeah, that's the merchant stall, and just to the right of it here is actually my base where all of my storage is. And yeah, again, I'm going to have to move this over for episode 51 when we start the new village, which I never like doing, but it's got to be done really. I like to take all my stuff with me. And then I guess we'll just do all the stuff on the ground level here to begin with. Over here, we have a big walkway leading all the way down to our underground tree farm, because I wanted to keep all of my villagers in the ravine itself. I didn't really want them going outside. So obviously I needed to supply them with trees, which is why we have every tree type down here except from birch, acacia, and dark oak. Oh, there's been some freezing. That's really weird. I don't know how this has happened. Oh, that is bizarre. If anybody could let me know how that has taken shape, because this is all in the forest biome. Do one of the, like, villagers do that? I have no idea. That is very peculiar. But yeah, this is the underground tree farm. As you can see, it's kind of got this like spherical shape to it leading down, and in the dead center we have the Tree of Life, which is a custom built tree, which yeah, turned out to be a pretty nice looking custom tree, because I'm not particularly good at these. Heading back up to this level of the ravine, we can walk on along here. Oh, see, this is what happens. I can't stop drowning. Oh, it's so annoying. They do this all the time. Okay, let's put your water back. There you go, buddy. Try not to do this again. I've gotten pretty good at stopping them from doing that now, which is nice. But yeah, anyway, let's walk along here and go and check out the tavern, shall we? So this is where all of the villagers go if they're feeling down. They want to cheer and drink and hang out with their buddies. So yeah, this honestly might be my favorite build in this entire village. I just really love how this turned out. I think it looks super cool, especially over here at the bar. So yeah, this is the tavern. Then upstairs we actually have the kitchen where the chefs can do some cooking. Also a big fan of this room over here. We have a big old cooker making some stew over here maybe. A table to do some work stuff on, I don't know. Another table, and then of course the functional furnaces which actually get used, and then just a couple of shelves displaying some various items. But let's head out of here and just cross over to the other side. Hello, chef. To the other side of the village, if we can just get out of this little tunnel, cross right on over to the school. As you can see, that is the token right there, which yeah, this is the school and also the library, another 2-in-1 building. So Let's actually, well, we'll start down here at the school. So the library's on the top level, school on the bottom, gone with another blackboard and table and chairs similar to the school in Esteria. And I thought, since these are meant to be like dwarven villagers, right, they're going to be studying the ores, what they need to be mining for, because a lot of them will grow up to be miners. So we got the iron, the gold, and the diamond. So they can learn about that, and also the village map, which looks really cool once we got all that landscaping done, and you can see the ravine a lot different, and it's not just, you know, surrounded by trees. Looks super duper awesome. So yeah, that right there is the school, and as you can see, demonstrated nicely by Brianna Mann, our enchanter. You can go up to the library on the second level up here, and you got a pretty cool view down on the school, which I really like. She's over there doing some enchanting. Way to go, girl. But yeah, enchanting table at the back, and then just a bunch of bookshelves everywhere else for, once again, lots of reader material. As per Esteria, I'm also not going to show you every single home in this village because they look pretty much identical. It's basically meant to be a cave with supports kind of holding it up, and yeah, we just got a bunch of this sort of similar stuff in each one. So I'll show you a couple. That right there is one of my favorites, probably my favorite 4-person home. But let's fly over to the other side right here where we have my favorite 6-person home, I think, at least. So yeah, I mean, they're all pretty identical. You can't really tell the difference between a lot of them. So all of the homes look like this. So if you see something that looks like that from the outside and I'm not stepping inside, it's because it's a house, and yeah, you've seen it all before. So yeah, that is the homes, and I think now what we will do is actually head back here and go to our treasure room, which has a super ugly tunnel. I never got round to making this look much nicer, so do your best to ignore it because I really don't like it too much. But this I do like. This is our treasure hall, filled up to the brim with lots and lots of gold blocks, with the golden throne at the front, which in theory was where the dwarven king was meant to sit. Even got a little chair for him, ready for him to perch his booty on there. But yeah, let's actually head on back up through the ugly tunnel and through the very poorly made piston door. You have to be super quick at getting through here. I don't know how to make it last longer to open up, but yeah, that right there is the treasury. And I guess now what we can do is go and check out one of the ends of the ravine. So basically at the edge of the ravine here, we kind of have 3 different points where I wanted to put some cool buildings, because I really love this section, you know, where it comes to a final point and the pathways curve round. I wanted to put some important buildings over here. So the first one on the bottom level over here is actually the mines, and I know I said the tavern was maybe my favorite thing in this village, but I completely forgot about the mines. I think this is my favorite. It's really cool. If we just wait here for a second, you can see we have mine carts going around. Oh, you guys are very close together. You shouldn't be... Hang on. No, yeah, okay, you should be further apart, guys. I don't know why they're that close. But yeah, down here we have the mines with a stack of ore, a lava pool. The cart goes round here as well. Some blocks, some storage, sorry, not blocks. And also a guard post, which is why this guy has just come down to watch over all of the miners who currently are not here at the moment. And then we also have another forge. All of our mine shafts are kind of in these little offshoots. And then my other favorite thing, which is still technically a part of the mines here, is actually where our smithy is. And this is just a really cool build. I love this one. Kind of keeping with the same style as what we had with the mines. Another like cave, a little bit similar to the homes, and I guess a lot of the other buildings. But yeah, we just got some storage back here, various bits and bobs to help with their crafting of armor and tools. This is it's basically a helmet in the process. That's the word. I'm really losing it today, guys. I apologize, but in the process of being made, ready to put on the completed armor stand, lava forge, and yeah, we also have a painting hiding the actual doorway to the smithy over here, so it counts as a smithy. But yeah, you can't really see the doorway itself. So little tip for you guys, if you want something like this as an entrance, just have a little corridor going off to somewhere hidden where you can put the doorway and the token itself. just above the mines here on this level, we have our animal pens, which, as I said before, I tried to keep my villagers inside the ravine at all times because it's a dangerous place out there. And yeah, so our animal pens are actually underground. We have a little bit of a chicken overload, I think, but all of these are identical. We got so many of the sheep, pigs, and chickens, but still only one cow. I assume there's just no more on the surface up there. But we also, as a part of this little area, have the butcher's building where the animals are, yeah, slain. We've seen that enough this episode, but yeah, got some more blood splatter on the floor and some hanging meat, and this is meant to be like drainage. It's all very disgusting in here, I must say. And yeah, just some storage at the back. So that right there is the animal pens and the butchery. We can now fly out. I've also got like a fence gate quite often throughout all of these fences, just so I can do exactly what I'm going to do here and jump out and fly away. So yeah, let's go up to the top level where we actually have the guards. So similar concept to what we have here, you know, pretty open. You can actually see into the building, which is why I love building at the very end point of the ravine here. But this is where the guards sleep, in this room, and then they train in this room. Kind of looks a little bit like a dojo. I said this in the episode where we built it, which really doesn't stick with the dwarven style, but as I said, it's only inspired. Not everything has to be perfectly realistic, plus dwarves don't actually exist, so realism doesn't really follow through with that sort of thing. But yeah, that right there is the barracks, as you can see. This, by the way, is Rustic TekTopia, a texture pack which is linked in the description that I use. It's really awesome, just makes it look rustic, as you can see. I love it. Use it for quite a while now. But over here, this is a cosmetic building. I think the only one alongside the treasury, which serves no purpose whatsoever. But this right here is the armory. It's meant to be where the guards go and armor up before battle. But yeah, just thought it would be a fun little thing to add alongside the barracks over here. You know, I think I'm actually going to leave this chicken here. I'm fairly certain he's enjoying himself. He's laying eggs. That's a sign of happiness, right? I'm sure it's not a necessity for chickens to do that. But yeah, if you guys really want to save him, then you can download the world for yourself and do that, which I actually want to talk to you guys about that for a quick second here. So there is a world download available for all of these villages. Obviously, the world entirely. They're all in the same world. Hopefully that's obvious by now. But yeah, I'll go over it very quickly because I'm sure most of you watching at this point, if you're this far into the video, would have seen episode 49 where I explained all of this before. But with the world tour, with the world download, sorry, you don't actually have to have any of the mods that I have installed. You simply have to just have some sort of Minecraft saves file. You don't even need TekTopia if you don't want. You could just put it in your normal Minecraft saves folder, go and load it in 1.12 and you will be fine. Obviously, if you don't have TekTopia, there will be no villagers, so do bear that in mind. But yeah, if you want to do that, check out in the description and you can take a closer look for yourself. But I will say you will spawn over here by this station right at 00, and basically this is just your way to get around the world, which I've done for you guys. So if you want to go to Meklan's Vale, you press this button and you are teleported over there in this carriage, and then you can press this one again and go back and then go to Esteria and the Undergrowth, even though it's like 100 blocks away. I still set one up anyway just for you guys, so you don't get confused or anything like that. So yeah, world download in the description. Check it out if you want a closer look. Oh boy, this was a long video, right? Thank you to all of you currently still watching right now, because it's been a little bit of a messy one. I must say I haven't been quite as well spoken as I usually would have been. It's quite the challenge to talk for however long this video is, probably getting on for 4 times the length a usual episode would be. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this monstrous episode with lots of talking, lots of showing, lots of walking around the TekTopia villages. It's been a ton of fun to record. I love going back to the old ones, and I think you guys do too. So what I would like you to tell me, if you have got it this far into the video, is which is your favourite village out of all 3? Have you got a personal favourite? I think I'm genuinely incapable of picking because Meklan's Vale is so very close to my heart. Esteria is just such a massive project and it turned out so well and I absolutely love it. But then the Undergrowth is very unique. It's a lot different and really turned out pretty cool. So yeah, I can't pick, you guys are going to have to choose it for yourself. Have you got a favourite? Please let me know, I'd be very interested to hear that one. But yeah, guys, that's going to be it for this very, very long episode. I apologise once again for the length. I didn't think it was going to go on this long, and here I am at the end of the video rambling away, just increasing the length. So I'll wrap it up here now. Next week's episode will be episode 51. We are starting a new village from scratch. It's going to be a ton of fun. I'm really excited to begin that. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really, really hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.